papers that are in front of you. You're going to use those papers to document questions that you have about the book here. We're going to use those questions in our Socratic seminar to keep the conversation going, okay? So again, this book is called Mirror, and it's by Jeannie Baker. There are two covers actually to this book. So I'm going to show you the front cover, and I'm going to show you that. Jenna, what does that say?
It starts from the right, so it says Merat. I don't know what that means. From the, there's
Do you think it means mirror?
America. I think so. And there's a word on the top. I can't see it that well.
It's probably the name of our author. Yeah. Yes, Donish.
I think it says
Mark.
Marca.
Okay. Now I'm going to show this to you. And I want for Jenna to tell me what language this is over here.
Arabic.
It's Arabic. Very good. And this here is English. So I'm going to read this, and it'll explain what this says. Okay? There are two boys and two families in this book. One family lives in a city in Australia, which is an English-speaking country. And one lives in Morocco, North Africa. Now, Morocco is an Arabic-speaking country. The lives of the two boys and their families look very different from each other, and they are different, but some things connect them. Just as some things are the same for all families, no matter where they live. So we're going to determine the interconnectedness, or how these countries and how these cultures connect to one another, okay? Now this book is meant to be read like this, where I'm opening both sides at a time. So make sure that you're able to see this, okay? So that's our cover page. They say the same thing on both sides. I had to maneuver there. There we go. Now, I want you to just take a look at these pictures and just sort of mentally think about what you see on those pictures. The one over here is Morocco. The one over here is Australia. What are some of the similarities that you see between these pictures? Jenna, go ahead and share.
It looks like they both live in like kind of big houses. That's what
Okay.
it looks like.
Okay.
They
What
have
other?
big houses and stuff.
All right, Jenna. What other similarities do you see? Safa?
In both of the pictures, it's night.
In both of the pictures, it's nighttime. What are the characters doing in this one? What are the characters doing? Donish?
they're praying.
They're praying. Okay. Sophia? Okay, so they're putting the baby to bed and the boys going to bed. Now I'm also noticing that in the background here, it's sort of light now. So I wonder if this is night and this is morning time. What differences do you notice between the pictures? What differences? Katie? Okay. What differences? Lucy?
There's only one person wearing this one. Please.
Okay, so the number of people. All right. Jenna?
One of the pictures shows the building and the other one doesn't.
Okay, so this one here shows the outside of the building, and this one is definitely inside of their house. It doesn't show the outside. Okay. So I'm going to turn the page for both.
But there were some words on the other page.
Okay, so just take a look, see what you see. How is their mode of travel, or how they're traveling around? How is it different? Donish?
On the Australia side, you can see a lot of cars and
That's this side.
and I think on the other side you can see people walking.
Okay. Okay, so you can see a lot more people in this one in their cars. What else do you notice, Jenna?
Well, really, how Moroccan people travel, because they have sandy places, they mostly travel on camel, because the camel they can see in the sand, and the sand doesn't bother their eyes most of the time.
Okay, all right. So what you're noticing is they're traveling on an animal here.
Camel.
They're traveling in a car or a motor vehicle here. There's a lot more cars here. There's a lot less people around here. Now, on this edge, this is them preparing their first meal of the day, so breakfast. What do you notice that's similar or different to how they're interacting with each other or how they're preparing their food? Malcolm?
I see how I think that like side is like New York or something like that, and I see how their table has like it's more bigger and it has wider space and it can fit a bigger family. While I think that side is like I think it's like the same exact thing, but there's older people and I think it's like their family and it's smaller because that's where they live in it like as fancy things as America.
Gabe, is it still on? Okay. Donish, go ahead.
So the difference is, and something that I know, people in like Muslim countries and states, they usually eat on the floor. They usually eat on the floor. And in that picture, they're eating on the floor. And in like Australia and other places like that, like America, they eat in bigger tables.
Okay, so they're eating at a bigger table here. They're eating on the floor here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and comment on these little boxes up here because I know that some of us might be a little too far to see them. They're preparing their food in a different way and they're getting ready for the day in a different way. Now here, they're preparing their food by hand. They're going out to the farmland and getting what they need. And here it just seems like they're coming together and, pouring cereal or pouring milk. So it is different how they're preparing, okay, and how they interact with each other. It seems like breakfast here is a little more rushed. Breakfast here, they all come together, okay? I'm also noticing a similarity. What similarities do you notice between them?
They both eat breakfast.
They both ate breakfast. Go ahead and raise your hand next time, all right? Now, take a look at this. What do you notice in the similarities and differences between technology in both pictures? What do you notice? Donish? I don't want you to come up. I just want you to tell me.
I can see that there's a little city in the Morocco side, and there's also a city over there.
Very good.
And
So
I
there's.
think on that green part is a farm.
Okay, so that green part is a farm. What makes you think that that's a farm?
Because you can see a lot of animals and there's some water.
Hold on for just a second, Donish. I'm sorry. Boys, remember we can't be talking near the camera because it's going to register your voice and not mine. Okay?
And
Go ahead, Donish.
it looks like there are crop lines on it.
There's crop lines on
So
it.
they might be farming.
What technology do you notice in this picture of Australia? What do you notice there? Sophia?
They have cars and
Okay, very good. So they have cars and planes and all sorts of stuff. I also noticed that they have a GPS here.
Yes.
Whereas here, they're just sort of finding their way on the camel.
Camels are small.
Okay? So they must just know the direction to go and know where to find what they need to find. Okay? Jenna, what do you notice?
It's kind of something I know about how they actually find their way through the sand dune. They usually,
Zach, can you back away, please? Thank you. Go ahead, Jenna.
so how they find their way on the camel, they know where those places are because they actually sometimes walk, and they know where and they just go to different places, and they travel and do journeys and stuff.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Then on the camels, they might need things and stuff, so they travel on the camels to get to their place.
Okay. Very good. Malcolm, what do you notice?
I noticed that the things over here, the cars and the camels, and I see their houses and buildings, and I see that they're made out of different materials. So I think that material is made out of bedrock.
Okay. So you think they use the surrounding area or the stone around them to build?
Or I think it's clay, because usually in desert areas they have a lot of clay, and I can see their material is different.
I'm loving that you're drawing that conclusion about what the material that they make their houses is out of, based on what you know about the land in the desert. That's a wonderful prediction. Katie, last thought.
They have trucks, so when they move, they don't.
Okay. Very good. So they are carrying things by their hand more so than them. They're traveling in a car, so the car can carry what they need. Whereas over here, they're traveling on camels, so they have to carry it, or the camel has to carry it. Okay. So I'm noticing differences, but I'm also noticing similarities. They're both headed to somewhere, whether it's work or the store or wherever they're going.
A new
They're
place.
headed somewhere, and they're getting there in whatever way makes sense to them. Jenna?
So usually I know this from the movies I watch and the books. So usually the camel, they have these sack things on the side of the camels and baskets, which holds the things next on the camel, so they don't have to carry it, and they have to take it.
Wonderful. So the camel, the people who travel by camel, they can put something over the camel on both sides, and they can put things on the ends. And that's how they can carry things on the camel. Wonderful. Take a look at this picture. There's a lot happening here. Now I want you to let me know how these markets are different. I want to talk about the differences first. How are these markets different? Zach Bloom, how are these markets different? JD
Outside, the other one.
One's outside, one they have to go in for it. What else do we notice? Malcolm?
I think it's like the outside, and they don't have houses, and they're dressing differently. I think that houses, they don't have houses, and like in the background they have the grocery store, and I think in that background they're going walking into the grocery store, and I see there's guys or people, they're trying to sell stuff to get money.
Very good. So you can see the people that are trying to sell things to get money. What else do you notice? Jenna?
Usually they do it. I notice that they're doing it outside because usually they don't have, like, when they build their houses, the clay's hot, so it's gonna always be hot. But when it's in the clay, it's always hot from the outside because they have, like, no glass, so it comes in and it's hot from the clay, so it gets hotter. So they don't want the food to get too hot because some of them are things that need to be cool, so they make it kind of cool. And there, instead they just have these ice. They have ice, they have freezer bags, so they can make it cold at all times, and they can make it hot by the heater and stuff.
Okay.
These don't, and they don't have that stuff.
All right. Jenna. No, I'm noticing. Oh, wait. I'm noticing that they're selling a lot of different things here, and I'm noticing that they might sell a lot of different things here. What all do you see in this picture that they're selling?
Fruit.
I'll call on you when you're quiet, my dear. What do you notice here, Lucy?
Right there they're selling like beans and
They're selling spices and beans.
and here they're selling like TVs.
Maybe TVs or computers. Okay, very good. What else do you notice? Jenna?
That spice I noticed, well, I kind of know this, I noticed that there's some fruits and vegetables there, but I know that spices are like they're really like Indian stuff, and Morocco is one place that they have a lot of spices.
That's true. Now, what similarities do you see between these two pictures? Gabe and Katie, make sure that your eyes are up here, okay? What similarities do you notice between these two pictures? Zach Bloom.
Well, actually, this one is kind of inside. You can see the walls right here.
Okay, so you might
But-
predict that it could be inside based on the walls.
But there's probably no roof because it's really light in there. And so there's probably no roof.
But you think there's like walls to section off the area maybe. Okay.
So there's a place to section off the area and say,
Wonderful connection that you're seeing, that the walls in this building would section off the areas too. Gabe? Malcolm?
I see how there's I have two comments, but I see how there's similarity. Like, in each picture, they're carrying something heavy. So, like, if you look on your left side, you see these guys, they're selling a sheep or something, probably for their wool to get the clothing. And if you look on, I think you're right, that you can see in the bottom corner, that lady's carrying something pretty heavy. And I see that this in the background. I noticed their clothing again because one time Gabe bought in one of his dad's robes from Morocco,
Yeah.
and they were pretty big, and they had like a hood, and like it was like you can like wear it and like anywhere. It looked like you could like wear it anywhere, and I think it was really good clothing.
Interesting. So Gabe's dad has been to Morocco and he will
I've been to
eventually